This is the story of MrSavage, one of the greatest Fortnite players of all time. Since MrSavage was a baby, he grew up in Norway and was an extremely competitive person in every aspect. He would always compete against his older brother, and when Fortnite came out, his older brother introduced him to it, and they would play together. But MrSavage was so much better than everyone else in the game. Even early on when he started, he could beat nearly everyone else so easily. MrSavage would also stream and upload YouTube videos, gaining a decent amount of followers, but not streaming and not uploading that much either, mostly focusing on just playing the game or getting better. But as MrSavage would actually continue streaming and uploading more and more, he eventually got signed to the Big NRG Sports org. But for MrSavage to start playing competitive Fortnite, he had to be 16, but in his luck Fortnite released online tournaments and made the age requirements 13. So he could actually play, but most of the cups were duos, so he teamed up with another rising pro, MrSavage. He did decently good with MrSavage, getting 11th in the Fortnite Gauntlet, 18th in the Scallywag Cup, and a 6th in the Looks Cup. All decent placements, but not super good. This wasn't enough for Savage and Benji though. Around this time, the Fortnite World Cup would be announced, and they would already have an amazing start, placing first in the World Cup warm-up. But no, Savage and Benji wouldn't end there, as they got first in duos week 2 and 4th in solo week 5 and were qualified for duos 2 more times, which is insane. Benji and Savage really were a savage duo. You get my joke, right? No? Okay, I guess not. Anyway, as they both qualified to the World Cup, Savage did not perform well, being a 29th in solos, but in duos he did decent, getting a 14th with Benji. No extra money, but still not a terrible performance from them, both, as Savage could have done way worse. It wasn't too bad. After this disappointing performance, Benji and Savage decided that it would be best to split from each other. After the World Cup, a new tournament started called Fortnite Championship Series, also known as FNCS. Savage needed to find a new duo he had good chemistry with and fast. MrSavage tried multiple different people, but he eventually decided to run this trio's FNCS with Royo and another kid. They ended getting a decent performance of 7th place and then split with each other. As the next FNCS was squad, Savage decided to team up with Baleu, Caxi, and Tohaj, and they got a 7th place. Savage split with them again. Fortnite then became Chapter to Season 2, and FNCS then became duos and decided to team up with Idrup, and this decision didn't help much, as he got a 12th place and had to split again. FNCS Invitationals then happened, and Savage got a 15th place, which isn't bad, but isn't that good either. As Chapter to Season 3 started, MrSavage got his own cup, which was pretty cool, along with Mongrel and Benji. A very good choice of people to give cups to. Anyway, for this FNCS, it was solos, and Savage had his worst performance, yet getting a 57th place. For Chapter to Season, for Savage finally teamed up with Benji again, and for the third player they picked up Lechi, and they got a decent 8th place in the FNCSE finals this season. Savage hadn't even gotten a top 5 in FNCS, which had to be pretty disappointing, but he still kept playing the game and grinding, which would hopefully pay off. MrSavage teamed up with the now 6x FNCS winner Tazen and brung Idrup into the trio. He just couldn't get a top 5, and he placed 8th, splitting with Tazen and Idrup. Savage just couldn't find the right fit for him. Next FNCS, he teamed up with Refsguard and Indretta, which wouldn't be a decision he would regret, as he placed 2nd. His highest placement, yet easily beating every single other FNCS placement Hayes had, so he stayed with the duo he had for the first time in his entire history of FNCS. But of course, this wouldn't last long, as the next FNCS he had with them, he placed 11th. Not a good performance for Savage standards, so he split with Refsguard and Via and stayed with Indretta, but actually played with his former duo MrSavage again. But of course, this didn't go well for Savage, and he got to 3 RD. But he stayed with the same duo surprisingly, and in Grand Royale they would get a very disappointing 15th. In the next FNCS it would become duos, and he would duo with MrSavage, and they would get Savage's worst performance, yet getting a 36th. He continued to play with Benji, and next FNCS he got a 45th, Then Benji quit Fortnite competitive, so Savage needed to find a new trio because FNCS was trios again, where he decided to trio with Nitro and Kaboom, and they got a 26th. Things were looking terrible for Savage around this point, as the past 3 FNCS finals, he hasn't even gotten a top 20. As FNCS changed game modes to duos again, he duoed with Idrup for the 1,000,000th time and got 32nd. Another terrible performance. So he split with Idrup and played with Vidil and actually got a top 10 placement, getting 8th place. Next FNCS with Vidil, he got 43rd, but then Savage would finally make a comeback, getting 1st place in the last chance major. Fortnite OG then started, and there was no FNCS. Fast forward to Chapter 5 Season 1, and MrSavage decided to duo with Mongraal. He had a really bad performance with Mongraal, but didn't split with him. I honestly think this might not be for competitive sake and for content creation, or because they are just really good friends, because the next FNCS Savage didn't even qual to Grands for the first time. But they still haven't split, and they have moved to NA to try to qualify for LAN. If you guys enjoyed this video, please subscribe, share and comment maybe. I worked hard on this video, so it would be appreciated.